Hey there, Park Ridge kids, welcome to STEWY'S, the music lesson of the week. Yeah. Hey, here's 1, 2, Mr. Stewart here for your weeks 3 and 4 video link lesson. And we're concentrating on the concept of pitch for this fortnight's lessons, which has got to do with high and low sounds, or high and low sounds. I still want you to keep on practicing your rhythms and writing them out and looking at those YouTube clips and clapping along. Definitely keep doing that, but we're moving on to pitch for the next couple of weeks. Now, a really good instrument that shows pitch is a Glockenspiel. It can play high sounds and really low sounds. There's the links that you have in your pack, the YouTube ones. If you watch those and pay close attention, they'll really help you understand the concept of pitch. But let's play a quick game with my Glockenspiel called Up, High, Down, Low. I'm going to play a song. It goes a little bit like this. Up, high, down, low, up, high, down, low. Now I'm in the middle and I'm going. Now after that song, I'm going to play a high or a middle or a low sound. If I play high, I want you to stretch up as high as you can. If I play low, I want you to get down as low as you can on the ground. And if I play one in the middle, just bob down a little bit. We'll only play a few rounds and maybe you can have a go yourself if you've got an instrument at home. Here goes. Up, high, down, low, up, high, down, low. Now I'm in the middle and I'm going. Hopefully you stretched up high because that was the high note. Here goes again. Up, high, down, low, up, high, down, low. Now I'm in the middle and I'm going. That was low. Hopefully you got down as low as you could. We'll do a few more. Up, high, down, low, up, high, down, low. Now I'm in the middle and I'm going. That was in the middle. Maybe do one more because we are running out of time. Here goes. Up, high, down, low, up, high, down, low. Now I'm in the middle and I'm going. That last one there was low. If you keep practicing listening to high and low sounds, you'll get better and better at understanding them. I also want you, in the first part of the lesson, once you've watched all those YouTube clips, have a go at this sheet here, where there's all these high and low things that make sounds that are high and low. Cut them out and put them in the right spot on the page. There's more information in the pack. Now let's move on to part 2. Okay, so for part 2, we're going to need to have a look at a keyboard. So here's my piano keyboard here. Now, it's not a full-size piano. I think it's around about 49 keys, but you should hopefully understand the basic idea of how to find low and high notes and everything in the middle there. In fact, this note here in the middle is called middle C. It's really important, but probably not something you need to know just yet in grade 1, 2. So all I want you to know, and here's a good way to remember it, on the left-hand side of the keyboard are all the low notes. Even the black notes are the low ones too. And then up to here, on the right-hand side, are all your high notes. I'll probably still call that high too. And really, it makes sense that everything in between are the middle notes. Okay, so that's pretty much all I want you to get from a keyboard. There's a virtual keyboard link that you can download and have a bit of a play with high and low sounds. Before I do, I'll quickly go over to my Glockenspiel over here. The good thing about Glockenspiels, as you can see by the shape, the bigger notes are low and the smaller notes are high. And that really helps in a lot of things in music. Usually the bigger something is, the lower the sound. The smaller something is, the higher the sound. And then obviously there's everything in the middle. That's all for part 2. Okay everyone, for part 3, I'm over here on my Mac computer and I'm going to do the lesson on screen, but I did forget to mention as part of your part 2 lesson, there is that really cool glass jar experiment where you can fill them with water and have a go at experimenting with different pitches that way, but you can check out the YouTube link that I've left there. So all I want you to understand here is basically how we write notes on music paper, and a really good trick to help you understand or remember the notes. So this is called the musical staff, 5 lines and 4 spaces. I've got 2 sets of staff here. This is a treble clef that lets us know what register we're in. So we're quite high in the treble. There is a bass clef which is really low as part of the grand staff, but we're not going to worry about that. I don't want to overwhelm you or confuse you with too many notes. We're just looking at the high notes. Even though within the treble clef you can have high and low within that. Hopefully you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to start with the notes on the lines I'll do up here, and the notes in the space I'll do on this one down here, and I think that's going to help you memorize some of these letter names. I'm going to get my drawing tool activated, so please forgive how messy my writing is going to look, because it's really hard to draw with one of these controllers, a mouse. Here goes. So I'm just going to start on this bottom line here, and I'm going to draw a note. Now, if it's on the line, it needs to be split right down the middle. Now, you can colour yours in and add in stems, but I'm just showing you where the notes are. Now, this is always going to be an E note, and we always do capitals when we're writing musical notes. I'm actually going to write the word every, because it helps me remember this note. You'll see why. Again, excuse my writing. I'm going to leave this space. There is a note here, but we'll check that out underneath here. Let's go up to the next line. If I do a note right in the middle, that's a G. I know that because I've been doing music for a long time. A G, capital G. But I'm going to turn that into the word good, just so it helps me remember my notes. Good. Ooh, very messy writing. I'll go up to the next line here, and that is a B. Hopefully you can fill out the sheet. You can do it while you're watching this clip, or you can just do it afterwards. I'm going to turn this into the word boy. Now the note's not called boy, but if I write the word boy, and it looks like bay, but it's supposed to be boy. It's my mouse writing there. Okay, next one up. I know it's a D note. Again, make sure it's right on the line. Capital D for the note name. I'm going to hopefully fit this in. I'll write the word deserves. D-E-S-E-R-V-E-S. I'm going to run out of space, but that's all right. And the top note on the top line is an F. Always an F. And I'm going to turn that into the word fruit. You might want to say Ferraris or Freddos, Fortnite, whatever works for you, okay? Every good boy deserves fruit. I use this to help me remember the notes. Even now, I've been doing music for over 20 or 30 years and I still use this today. Always an E on this line, always a G if you see a note on this line, always a B on this line, always a D, and always an F if there's a treble clef. And the way I remember it is just by going, every good boy deserves fruit. Now the reason why I've left these space ones out is hopefully so you can see this other cool little trick that helps me remember things. If it's in the space, it has to sit right in the middle there. I'll do all the notes in the spaces first. We'll write them in. There's 4 spaces. Now I could have done these notes up here, and this one up here. And then you really see the alphabet. Maybe I'll do them in a minute. But if you watch here, this will spell out a word. The notes in the space, that's an F, that's an A, that's a C, and that's an E. The notes in the space spell face. Good way to remember it, I think. And if I did it all together, the F would be here. I'll just write my F there rather than the note. And the A would be sitting here. And the C would be there because it just goes up like the alphabet. Starts low, gets higher. And the E would be here in this little space here. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. It does keep going up and keep going down, but we're not going to worry about that for now. That's it for this week's lessons. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a go at this sheet here. Keep doing all your rhythm practice, and you can click on the other links below and check them out too. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.